continues in a moment.
Welcome back to America's Hope. So from a chaplain who has actually helped so many superstars in baseball, football, and the NBA, we go now to a person who is right there on the front lines and securing and making sure that people are taken care of, because he does security for a lot of high-profile celebrities and sports figures. His name is Lewis Perry. He's president of Kadima Security, and for over 30 years he's been working in the security industry. Lewis has provided security for the elite high-profile people, as I stated, politicians, former presidents, court security details, personal protection. He's done it all, providing crime prevention tips as well for many people living in Los Angeles, California. Lewis Perry is also the author of the book, Failure is Not an Option, The Lewis Perry Story. He joins us now from Los Angeles. Lewis, how are you doing, man? It's good to welcome you to America's Hope.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly. I have to tell you, first of all, thank you for having me. But more importantly, thank you for doing the great work you've done for so many years in the industry. You have been a hallmark guy to do great work and keeping everything 100%. And the world appreciates you. I wish I could see you more.
Well, you're kind to say that, and we'll work on seeing each other more, because we've known each other for many years. And look, you know, this life that we live is often very difficult and problematic. You work in the security field. That means you're working with a lot of people who are really trying to stop the bad guys from taking advantage of innocent people. What's that been like for you, especially in this time of adversity that's going on in our country, in terms of the divisiveness that we have, the anti-Semitic crimes that have been rising up, as well as anti-Asian crimes, and just the issues that go on in our society?
Well, you know, Kelly, it's a very sad day in the United States. It's insanity. I mean, I cannot even handle the amount of calls we are getting from a business perspective, from a financial perspective. It's a great thing. From a humanitarian perspective, it's an awful thing. And, you know, I don't like to benefit off the sickness of society issues that are taking place around the world, and specifically in Israel and Palestine and Gaza. It's put us to the point where we are doubling, tripling the company. People who never had security are asking for security. Not one, two, three, not unarmed, but armed. It is insanity, specifically in Los Angeles, where we have a large number of Jews. But around the country, it's the same thing. I've talked to other professionals. It's really bad, really bad.
So are you being called to provide more security at Jewish synagogues, and for some of the people, like the people who work on the rabbinical staffs of those particular synagogues?
A to Z. A to Z. Today I just came from a school. Yesterday it came from a synagogue. Then it was a march, a demonstration. Then it was a Jewish home. Every which way we are getting calls. The security industry has literally gone insane. From a financial, okay, thank you. But to see what's going on in society as a human being, it's a very, very scary place that we're in.
How do we get here, Lewis?
I think we got here for a number of reasons. The first reason is, before my time, and I'm 62, this has been going on for many, many years between the Middle East. Israel, Palestine, Hamas, Gaza, and many other countries on that side of the world. I think the point is that the hate is so large. The hate is something that starts from sometimes above and works its way down to the root. What does that mean? There are videos that are surfaced with kids that are 8 years old being taught to hate Jews. How can you possibly have a peaceful environment when you're raising hate from the beginning? Same thing happens with the KKK. If you raise a kid to hate people of color, that's all he knows. It's like teaching somebody the alphabets. We're in a very sad place. The evil of the world is showing their face. And I'm not going to mention names, but I feel when people see a high-profile person with a lot of hate against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they say it's okay to rear our head now because the leader is hating. Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
Yeah, so it becomes a matter of the heart and what you're being taught. My mother used to always say that prejudice is something taught, and it's something that you have to learn. If you keep feeding it, it will grow. Look, you grew up in New York City, in Brooklyn, and you grew up with a multiplicity of different people from different backgrounds. They were Jewish, they were Islamic, they were Christians, they were Latino, they were black, they were white. You know, they were from every corner of the globe, and you were able to work side by side with them. Have we lost that, and can we get it back?
That's a very good question, Kelly. You know, let me go back in time. I was raised, as you said, I was in a business called the Schmatta business. The Schmatta business is a Jewish industry of the garment industry. And then I was raised by Palestinian people in restaurants. They showed me love. They appreciated me. They supported me. They respected me. I respected them. My mother, like your mother, Kelly, said, you know, there's good and bad in all people. And that's what I live my life with. That's what I tell my kids. There's good and bad in all people. I do not associate with bad people. If a person says, I hate blacks, then you hate me. If a person says, I hate whites, then you hate me. If a person says, I hate Jews, then you hate me. If a person says, I hate Palestinians, then you hate me. We need to go to the grassroots of love for humanity.
If I can't talk to people like you who are on the front lines of these things that go on, and yet you still walk away from it having hope when you look at your wife and your children and your co-workers and your friends, if I can't show that hope, then what's the point in showing up to work?
Let me tell you this. This is not, hope is for everybody. Hope is not just for the Jews, not just for the Palestinians. This hope is for everybody. That's why God put this beautiful thing we live in called the world, Earth. We're taking it for granted.
I need to ask you, as hardened as you have to be against the criminal element, what is it that you're trying to get people to know, like your clients, about how we should become more proactive in being, just what you said, better neighbors to each other and looking out for each other to build a sense of community and unity rather than the divisiveness that we've seen?
Well, there's several questions in one which I like, so I'll answer them all. I am not Jewish, but I'm a huge provider of security for the Jewish people, which means what? They trust me. In trust comes opportunity. The top Jewish people in the world, I have provided security for. Jonathan Sachs, Rabbi Kunin, Elie Wiesel. Those are the top names. All the synagogues, Chabad. Now, what do I want to tell people? Listen, we live in a world where there are people who are crazy. They don't understand what me and you talk, Kelly. They don't understand family. They don't understand work. They don't understand ethics. So your show of hope, which you always bring to the table, teaches people that. You may catch one person to change their life on your show, and that's more than someone else is doing. So what we have to do is we have to be alert for those crazy people that are out there. The people who want to bring harm to blacks, to Jews, to whites, to Persians, to any race, any religion. We have to be aware of what they look like, what they bring, how they carry themselves. Let me take out what they look like. Let's talk about how they act. Hate, material of hate, emails of hate. That's the person we need to watch. How do we do that? Look, this is not a day of leaving your doors open anymore. You don't leave your doors open. You lock your doors. I live in the fourth safest community in the whole country. Where I live, I'm not going to tell you where I live, but where I live is the fourth safest community in the whole country. I got 3 locks on my door. The front, bottom, the top, and the middle. 3 locks. Then I got a Rottweiler inside that will take care of business. Now, if you get past my Rottweiler, I'm going to be doing a Tony Montana thing. Let me introduce you to my new friend. Okay? That's the reality of it. I'm prepared. We all need to be prepared. We all need to keep your doors locked. Check where you park. Look at your surroundings. If you're only going to spend $100, don't take $300. Christmas is coming. Keep your gifts in a locked area of the trunk. Don't leave your gifts in the back so people can look in and steal it. It could be a McDonald's bag empty. People notice sometimes people put cash in McDonald's bags.
It's true.
Make sure your card's clear. Keep your card clear. And most important, no. Even though you may think he's not around, my friend upstairs, he's always around. And to those guys out there that may have stumbled onto this show, I got to say this. You may think you have gotten over on somebody by robbing them or stealing from them. He knows. And when it happens to your mother, when she goes to the store and she goes shopping and somebody robs her, and you've been robbing people your whole life, that's why it happened. What goes around comes around. That's old school, Kelly.
Yeah.
It's true. It exists.
I'm talking to Lewis Perry. He's president of Kadima Security. We're going to take a slight break, and when we come back, we will go over his book, Failure is Not an Option. That's coming up next. Welcome back to America's Hope. I'm talking to a good friend, Lewis Perry, president of Kadima Security, is based in Los Angeles. I want to talk about your book, Failure is Not an Option, because in that you describe how you grew up in a tough area in Brooklyn, New York, and ultimately became successful because of the faith that you had to grow up with, and the lessons that you learned from growing up. Talk to me about it, please.
Well, Failure is Not an Option was inspired by, to be honest with you, Kelly, people like you, good people in the world, who have mentored me, inspired me by their works, by their good deeds. I watch you. I watch others, and I want to be a good person in life. I want my kids to say my father was a good man. That book walks you through Brooklyn, New York, the hardships that I dealt with in New York, all the way to moving to California. And it basically talks about never giving up. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will ever believe in you. You have to believe in yourself first. There's a Spanish word that says, si se puede. That means, yes, I can. Yes, you can. I am not a special guy. I just happen to work hard, and I happen to know that if I want to accomplish something, the only way to get there is to work, not to steal, not to sell drugs, not to rob, to respect, work hard, and be a good human being. That's what my book's about. It talks about a guy starting from here and working up to here, but yet my heart is still here. That's what it's all about. I am not the smartest guy in the world by far, but I will outwork anybody who's lazy and do very well because of it.
Louis, I thank you so much for coming on the show, and you're just a straight shooter, man. I've always loved that about you, and you've gone on to work for some very notable people, actually protecting them. And I've met some of those people, and some of the famous people, you know, they've turned into good, close friendships for me. But man, you know, I could go down your list, but I don't want to put you out like that. But you do have quite a few celebrities out there that you're taking care of. I appreciate you.
I have a lot of celebrities I've done, but to be honest with you, the celebrities are like any other person. Just like me, just like you, just like Nancy. We're just human beings. At the end of the day, we are just human beings. Elon Musk is a human being. He's not special unless you put him there. He's a good person or he's a bad person. He's a human being. That's it.
And because of that, those particular high-profile people keep calling you back. It's because of your way of being there to help them.
If you call me, I have to tell you this, Kelly. My goal is one thing when you call me. When I pick you up, I want to drop you off home. That's the key. Secured, 100%. Want to throw little jokes in there? Maybe I'll do that too for you, but I ain't going to try. But I'll keep it real, 100%.
That's why they call you. I'm just going to put it out there. Smokey Robinson, where else can I go without embarrassing you? My good friend Claudette Robinson, the first lady of Motown. I'm going to lose some of the names that are out there.
All right, Suzanne, you want me to throw some at you?
Okay.
We got Suzanne DePass, Smokey. You have what's his name? Oh Jesus, that's one of the things about getting old. I've done a lot of boxers. I've done a lot of movie stars. I've done Mel Gibson, Al Pacino. You name it, I've done them. I've done the top people in the world. The owners of the St. Louis Cardinals, the DeWitt family. Veronica Ferris, the German actress, huge German actress, you name it, I've done them. I've worked 3 presidents, Clinton, Bush, Reagan, when they retired. I've had a blessed life. I mean, God has been so great to me. If God wants to take me home tonight, don't cry. I've lived a great life. So I'm happy.
I'm happy for you. You've done great things, and I want to ask you real quickly before we go, based on the life that you've had, what's your hope for America and the world?
You know, Kelly, that's a deep question, but I'm going to tell you what my hope has always been my whole life. Kelly, the best day of my life would be for every corner of the world to be at peace. For the Jews to work with the Muslims and to be able to sit and have a barbecue together, families, blacks, whites, Spanish, Asian, every denominator. We should have a world day of peace where we could all get together and barbecue with each other and have food together, let our kids play together. The world would be so much of a beautiful place, and I think that's what God had in mind. He had to have that in mind, because why should I dislike a person because of the color of their skin or the religion? Why? I love everybody. I love everybody. I love you, Kelly. And I know you love me back. We just need to love each other, man. We need to stop this hate. Stop the parents. If you're on the station, parents, don't tell your kid to hate somebody because of the religion or color of their skin. Tell them to love them. There's good and bad in all. That's what Mother said. She was right. My mother had maybe not the greatest education from a third world country, But she was smart when it came to humanity and love of humanity. My friends were of all races, white, black, Spanish, Asian. Come on, guys, let's get it together, because I think our time is running out if we don't. God's going to say, you know what, maybe the next batch will be better. I'm going to take this batch away. Could happen.
Yeah. Louis Perry, so much love for you, man. Appreciate you, brother. President of Kadima Security, based in Los Angeles. Call him up if you need him. But if you just need someone to tell you like it is, you just heard him. Appreciate you, Louis. God bless you, man.
God bless you, too. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. I'd like to thank our guests, Louis Perry and Willie Alfonso, for being on tonight's program. My final word is based on their infectious personalities that provide you with hope. Willie and Louis, if you could just bottle that joy that they have and that perseverance that they have, wow, that would be so good. What I seek to do in this program of America's Hope is to infuse resiliency and perseverance in you and in me, because through that we develop character that's good stuff that helps us overcome the adversity that we encounter. And so I want to thank them again for introducing you to this wonderful gift called hope, and their courageous and bold behavior of spreading not hate, but love, freedom, and peace. Until next time, America, let hope endure. Good night. My America. We agree to disagree, but still live in harmony, because we are a family. God bless your America and my America.
United we stand, divided